segunda categoría. Pet peeves en la música. ¿Quién quiere empezar?
I'll go last.
Okay, you start. Y nos vamos así.
Una persona que te pide que escribas una canción porque yo soy pues compositor también, ¿no?
Mm-hmm.
And so as a songwriter, people do come to me sometimes and like, hey, can you write a song for me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, dude, like that's what I do. I'm
Yeah.
good at doing that. So I write, and either they can't deliver it, like in not in the sense of they can't deliver it the way I did it,
Mm-hmm.
but they can't even deliver it in their own way.
Oh, está cabrón.
That's a big pet peeve for me. Or
Yeah.
two, I write them a song and they don't do shit with it.
And then you're stuck
And
because
then I'm
you're like,
stuck.
can I use it? What do I do with it?
I wrote the song specifically with your voice in mind, so I'm not gonna do anything with it.
But you wasted your time.
I wasted my time.
Creativity.
Yeah, to write you a whole song, and you didn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
I would say that's one of my bigger ones.
A mí el que yo creo que es más persistente que me ha tocado es like when people want to like, they're like, oh, let's do something, let's work together, but they don't really take it seriously. Yeah, and it's like, so, para mí es como que también hay que pensar que la otra persona está poniendo el tiempo. And if you, siento que es más cuando la otra persona viene a ti y luego ya es como que, no, like, and it's like, pues entonces, ¿para qué hicimos todo esto?
Mm-hmm.
When,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You could have just been like, si alguna vez pasa algo, lo que sea. You're like, bueno.
Simón.
Pero si te están insiste. Y luego es como que, okay, let's do it. And it's like, no, pues. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know? It was just more like, como que hablen sin como, like, just, ¿cómo se dice? Como...
Talk to talk. You don't walk the walk.
Exacto. Yeah. So, yeah. Ahora tú. A ver.
I have a lot
you
of
have
pet
a lot
peeves.
Yeah, you have a lot of experience.
Them. Yeah,
List
so...
them.
Shit, okay,
Ready?
Okay.
Ready? One,
right, okay,
two,
I guess
three,
we're gonna have
go.
a whole tangent.
Okay.
So one of the things that is a pet peeve for me is when, like Luna said and Jahida, like when people say, let's work, and nothing gets done. Mm-hmm. And from my experience, the people who are more focused on working don't even bother saying, let's work. It just kind of happens naturally. They get into the studio and, you know, you network, you meet people, and it just happens. Let's work does not work for me. Simple as that. I would say as a second thing, a lot of people are very unaware of how auto-tune works. People think that you need to not be a singer at all. You can just use auto-tune and you can automatically sing. And that's not the case. With auto-tune, it is a tool. It is an instrument. It is something that requires for you to learn how to identify pitch and for you to be able to, you know, execute. And so I think like a lot of people ask me to turn down their auto-tune, which is totally fine. Like, I don't mind doing that because they want to hear more of their natural voice. But the real reason why they ask me to turn it down is because the auto-tune gets jumpy. And instead of acknowledging the fact that the auto-tune is getting jumpy because you are off pitch, they just, you know, automatically assume it's just too robotic. And trust me, like, I actually try to help people break it down. Like, let's start at the beginning, start note by note, and figure out where it is that you're, you know, that you're falling off or that you're falling behind or whatever it is. But that's definitely a second pet peeve. I would say a third one would be when it comes to booking. A lot of people like to run around in circles. I feel like I make it very easy for people to book. If it's hard to get a hold of me, all you have to do is go online and just book a session there. It's as simple as that. If you can't get a hold of me, typically it's just let me know your availability. Let me know what times are good for you. And I always try to find a spot. It's as simple as that.
Bro, the best bet is just going on your link and
like I said, I mean, I make it as easy as possible, as easy as I can. And it's I don't want to say that it's like a huge pet peeve, like, are you fucking kidding me or anything like that? No, but it's still something where it's like, come on, like, I don't know how much easier I can make it.
I think it also comes down to the artist having work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
If you actually want a song done, you need to put in the time and you need to book the time to do that.
Right. And I mean, to be fair, like I said, like sometimes there's like inspiration, like cuando te pega la musa, like whenever you get that inspiration, you just need to get in the studio ASAP.
Yeah.
You know, and that's totally respectable. I get that and I understand that. But overall, they need to also understand that, you know, I have people that book with me every week because of that. That because they want to make sure that they have their spot, you know, secured. And so yes, I am going to charge you a deposit. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you've worked with. Oh, that's another pet peeve too. I can't stand it when people give me all of their, I work with this and this and this and this. Like, I really don't care. Is your song good? Cool, let's work. It's not, then let's figure it out to make it better. Like,
you I just thought of a pet peeve.
A ver.
Go for it.
Of music. When you're collaborating with like another artist or like producer, songwriter, whatever, and you don't understand that you need to do what's best for the song.
That part.
So artists collaborating with each other. Say, example, you and I write a song together.
Yeah.
You wrote the chorus, I wrote a bridge, Manny helped us with a verse. Then us deciding who sounds better on the chorus. Even if you wrote the chorus,
Yep.
who sounds better on it?
Yep.
Who sounds better on the verse? Who sounds better on the bridge? What are we going to do to make the song a good song? Not, I'm going to boost your ego because you wrote the chorus and you're like, I should be on the chorus. Like, no, dude, that's not how music works.
No.
You need to be open-minded to the possibility of things. Also, with that being said, your producer is a producer for a reason. Your engineer is an engineer for a reason.
Yes.
They do this shit every day. This is what they do for a living. So, if you come to me and you ask me, hey, what do you think about this? I'm going to tell you my 100% honest opinion. If you don't like that, that's not my problem.
No.
And see, one of the biggest things is that I feel like a lot of people are okay with being yes men in that sense. Like, yeah, that's cool, because at the end of the day, they're getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like here we don't try to do that. We definitely try to make sure that people know, like, this is what we honestly think and this is what we think is going to be best for the song.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been occasions where, like, let's say it was Luna and you again that wrote a song together and we decided to give you the whole song. We said, you know what, Jahida, this song is all you. Like, you sound perfect on it. This can be a single for you.
It just makes sense.
And it makes sense. And it's cool. Then we all agree and that's it, you know? And maybe there will be some disagreement here and there, but overall, we're going to find some agreement where it works out.
Mm-hmm.
Pues tú y yo hemos hecho eso cuando hicimos la de Géminis. We changed things on it.
Exactly.
Tú, yo me salí y me dijiste, esto, lo otro. I'm like, okay, like, if you think that's because you are the producer. Si tú crees que eso va a estar mejor y al final we like how it was, you know?
Like, let the producer do their job.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where artists feel some type of way because they get, you know, pulled off of a song. And the reason why I say pulled off of a song and not kicked off a song or booted off a song or whatever else is because it's not like someone's trying to hurt you, attack you, or make you feel like you're less than.
That's not the intention.
It's not the intention. The intention is just to make a good song, and what you added to the song was not helping it in the vision of whoever the person in charge of the song.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you can't contribute like on a different project.
Of course,
or something,
not only
you know,
that,
like
you
es
can
todo a sus tiempos.
Yeah, like there's so many songs that can be worked on. Like, it's definitely an ego thing. I think that's another part of the pet peeve is definitely just people having an ego.
And we all have an. I mean, we all have an ego, bro. Like,
but it's so much you've worked
inedible,
on it.
inedible, inevitable. You guys got inedible?
Nah, I don't.
Nah, it's inevitable, you know. But it's about how you check your ego and how you're able to like take a step back and just self-reflect on, am I actually making the right choice by having this ego, or should I just take a step back and just let it play out, bro? Sometimes the best fucking music comes from just being open.
Yeah. And also another thing too is taking into consideration where you get your opinions from, because I'm sure that most of you can relate. When it comes to asking your friends what they think of your music, usually they say, I like the beat. And that sucks. It sucks when people say, I like the beat, because they're disregarding melodies, they're disregarding lyrics, they're disregarding everything else that has to do with that song and what it took to put it together. Just for an I like the beat. That's crazy. Yeah. But what you have to remember is that this is just the public. That's the normal ear. That's what they hear. That's what they listen to. That's what they want. So you have to take that into consideration. It's more than just asking the public what they think of a song. Yeah, you want their approval because that's what's going to get you, you know, listens, and that's what's going to get people to listen to your music and all of that. but it's very crucial for you to ask your peers. It's very crucial to ask your, you know, your friends that are engineers, your friends that are producers. Like, there's a huge network of us, and there's a lot of us that you can ask, and we can be available to help in, you know, in every way that we possibly can. And when you go and ask, let's say, your best friend or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whoever it is that you want to ask for advice, you know, on your music, and they tell you that you should do this or you should do that, really take into consideration, would you also ask them to change your oil if they've never changed oil on a car?
That
You
part.
know?
Hey, YouTube.
You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like that's, you know, I feel like that's a little more of like a rant, not necessarily so much a pet peeve, but that's something where I wish like I could clarify that more for people, because I think it's so important to understand that you need to use your resources and not just the regular ears, just because, oh, they love music. Yeah, no, for the most part they love the beat, let's be honest. And I mean, we had this conversation earlier. When it comes to music, the way the general audience listens to it is they listen to the beat first.
Yes.
They listen to the melody second. They listen to the lyrics third.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Unless you're a hip hop rap head MC that listens to MF Doom and, you know, Cancerbero and all these, you know, hip hop legends and all of that, you're listening to these things in that order.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yep.
You know, so I feel like that's a very important point to make.
Yeah, like having a listening party, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Having a listening party, I want to have musicians there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have like just normal,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm all coming off all fucked up, normal people. But just like I don't want to just have anybody there. I want like the artists that are working with us, the producers, different sound engineers. Why?
Different
So
ears,
that different
pero que
ears,
conocen.
so that I can get a perspective. I love Manny, and he's a great engineer, but he's not the only engineer,
That part.
you know. And other engineers might have different, you know, perspectives.
Yeah.
Different. Hey, maybe what if you do this, or even just having a listening party and saying, hey, this is the best song on your album.
Mm-hmm.
You should promote that one. You should invest in that one, which
Yeah.
means music videos, all of that stuff,
Yeah.
right? But having those other perspectives and other opinions, then we can be like, okay, let's pull the trigger on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, last one. Personal pet peeve de ti mismo. Yo empiezo.
Bueno,
Decir,
como, wait, time out.
Ah.
De ti mismo, como,
tú como persona que a ti mismo te caga de ti. Yo empiezo. Digo que me voy a dormir temprano y que me voy a levantar temprano para hacer un chingo de cosas que no me levanto a la hora que digo, no me duermo a la hora que digo y no hago todo el desmadre que dije que iba a hacer. Y todos los días que me voy a acostar, me miro al espejo y digo, ¿por qué eres así? Y ya.
Yeah.
Ahora sí, ¿quién quiere seguir?
I think I follow you on that one
¿Ves?
too. Yeah, like I have a lot of like ambitions and goals, but I like there's just so little time, and you know, like having a full-time job and then having the part-time job at the studio and having
the podcast.
a podcast and then having like my
personal
girlfriend
project,
and my
your band.
kids, my band. It's just a whole, you know.
Yeah.
And I me quiero comer al mundo entero, güey.
Yep.
Pero no me cabe.
No, pues
You
no.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just and I'm not saying like it is a pet peeve to like, fuck, I should be doing more, but then also not having the time to do it and not having the energy to do it and just like being realistic. There's only so many things that I can tackle at once.
No, I'm just saying como las cosas en las que sí tienes
Yeah.
control. O sea, cuando dices, si me duermo a esta hora, me debería poder levantar a esta hora.
Yeah.
Si en vez de estar media hora en social media, me pongo a escribir la canción. O sea, hay
Yeah.
cosas que uno tiene control. And, like, es more, ¿sabes qué sería más bien como que yo misma, la disciplina hacia mí? O sea, lo que yo, los
Hacia ti.
tratos que yo hago conmigo y no... Como si yo le digo al Manny, voy a venir al estudio o te digo, vamos a escribir una canción and I'm there. Vamos a hacer el podcast and I'm here. Pero cuando yo hago tratos conmigo misma, I don't like fulfill those things.
Para-
y eso es lo que
Sí.
me caga.
Para clarificar, yo siento que the key word es disciplina. Y yo lo digo because, well, you just said it, but also as you guys were talking about it, I was thinking you're both talking about discipline.
Yeah.
And that's for sure what it is for me as well.
Por eso estamos aquí.
Yeah, la disciplina, porque como Luna, tú dijiste que tú no sientes que tienes el tiempo para tantas cosas porque tienes tantas cosas en el plato. Igual yo también tengo cosas en el plato. We have a lot of things that we got to do.
Yep.
I'm sure we all have busy lives. Even everyone that's watching, everyone has busy lives. Everyone's trying to figure out how to get shit done, how to get paid, and how to make those bills, you know.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because we all want to go on a nice vacation.
Of course. We all want money. We all want to be, ¿cómo se llama? Financially
stable.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. So la disciplina is it's the key factor in all of that. Y yo siento que con la disciplina uno aprende más del time management.
Yep.
And with that time management, you know, things work out better.
You get more to your goal.
Yeah.
Sí, sí.
Which is, you know, it's pretty crazy to like think of how like a simple word is really all it takes. It's discipline. You know, I remember Marissa wrote that on a whiteboard that I had in the room. She wrote discipline because for me, that's one of those things where it's like, it's so interesting. I've always had discipline when it comes to the studio.
Yeah.
When it comes to my work with music, my discipline is there 80% of the time because I definitely have my off days.
Yeah.
But when it comes to anything else, it's like, I feel like I'm just not there. Like, I mean, and I'm sure everyone can relate, going to the gym, eating better.
Sleeping better.
Damn, bro, I
Sleeping
haven't
better.
gone to the gym in like 4 or 5 months.
Pero es como, es lo que tú dices, hay siempre va a haber algo que es muy importante para ti. Y eso lo haces,
and
pero
I think that's the thing. I think that's where you're saying.
Yeah.
And for me, it's finding the balance.
Yeah.
Because there was a time where I was super into the gym, right? And I was like, bro, best shape in my life. And I was there every day.
And out of nowhere, now you don't have the time for it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Exacto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
It's the discipline.
It's the discipline.
Yeah. And then it's harder.
Discipline.
The one thing that I've found
Discipline.
is discipline. The one thing that I've found is that it's harder to get back on track than it is to stay on track.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, one day I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym. Oh, no, I'll go next day. And then the next day. And then you leave it. And you keep leaving it for the next day and the next day. And then now you didn't go for a week. Then you didn't go for 2 weeks.
And then you didn't go for a month.
Yeah. And then it's...
Yeah, so, except I still have my gym membership.
Yeah, I still have mine too, bro.
Yeah, so, overall, disciplina es lo más importante.
Yes.
I feel like discipline leads to, again, the time management. And that time management leads to a pro life, like a happy life. Like, that's what we all need to do. And honestly, I think I might start tonight or tomorrow.
Doing what?
Huh?
Just being disciplined in
trying,
general?
Just trying.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I have been trying, like, earlier, going back to the whole alarms thing. I've been, like, keeping my alarm set for 8 a.m. every morning. And right now, like, I mean, I've been waking up, like, at 9. So I'm, like, it's, like, trying to get back there, like, I'm kind of, like,
I mean, from 10 to 9.
Yeah. Like, so, yeah, I mean, really, like, I was almost waking up at 11 at one point, so I was like, damn. So, like, I'm trying to be productive and all of that, but I'm also trying to be more productive with my mornings and trying to do more with them.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's a big part of discipline. I feel like having accountability in each other would really help out a lot.
Yeah. Es más fácil cuando tienes accountability de otras personas.
Exactly. Yeah.
Lo que yo quiero es accountability conmigo mismo.
Exactly. And I feel like that's the hardest part is to have accountability within yourself. And
but that's separation season. Did you guys know what separation season is?
No.
Separation time. The most successful people wake up at like 4 a.m. They wake up, they got their gym session in before 6 a.m. And then they're already like...
What time do they go to bed?
¿Qué hora se duermen?
They're probably going to bed. I mean, I don't know. I
Like
can't
8,
tell you,
7?
but I know I have some friends...
Because I've seen a lot of those articles and stuff like that where people talk about, they wake up early, they get, they work out, breakfast, everything, they get their day going. But it's like, let's be realistic also. A lot of these successful people have made their way there to where they're financially stable enough to make those kinds of decisions, to say, I can go to bed at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Or even if they do stay up, or even if
I think they are going to bed at like 9 p.m.,
You
bro.
see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
like being realistic, a lot of us don't have the financial freedom to be able to do that because we all have to work. We all have to try to make ends meet. And we all have too much on our mind, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm sure that they have a lot of their problems too, but I mean, it's a lot easier to wipe away your tears with a $100 bill.
But that's true, like you said, o sea, toda la gente que ves que hace preach, esas personas que tienen dinero.
Exacto.
Pero no tenían dinero.
No tenían, pero,
siempre han tenido dinero.
And that's
pero
my
yo
point.
no, o sea, no es, Yo los veo haciéndolo cuando ya tienen dinero.
And that's my point, because keep in mind,
you know what I mean? That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying
I
to
see
say.
because keep in mind, like, let's say actors, for example, a lot of actors, there's some that are like super overweight when they start acting and they get really famous, and then what happens?
They look all nice.
Now they start to look nice. Now they start to lose some weight. Now they have like their life together. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, this actor, millions of dollars worth, and this is his regimen. The Rock, this is his regimen. Like, of course that's their regimen. They can afford to have a regimen like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Y porque la gente que ves que no tenga dinero ni se levanta a esa hora es porque se van a ir a trabajar. No porque...
And here's another thing too, like, for example, and this is, to everyone who's like on Instagram, because I've had this conversation with Marissa a lot. I tell her, yeah, like, you see these people with great bodies, but this is what they're doing for a living.
Exactly.
If they're really popular on Instagram with hundreds of thousands of followers, and they're working out, and like, it's, oh my God, look at their body, look at their transformation. Yeah, that's because they turned it into their job. Because they go so constant, like so regularly, that now people want to know their secrets.
Or not just their job, but they have their job, and all they do outside of their job is work out.
That part.
That's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like my friend from high school, long time friend. He's told me multiple times, you want to be a musician? Quit your job. Do music full time. That's the only time that you're going to be successful. I'm like, okay, that would be nice, but music isn't 100% paying the bills right now, my guy.
And to be fair, music is a very difficult
industry and career to get into.
Pero tienes razón, o sea, es que también no puedes hacer o sea, cuando quieres que algo sea successful, le tienes que meter todo el tiempo. Obviamente sí, pues ninguno de nosotros se puede dar el lujo de que, bueno, tu trabajo está aquí, pero igual tienes que estar aquí, ¿cuántas? 12, 10 horas. It's not like, ay,
which comes to a thing where it's like, for me, work and music, family before music, but work and music, that's all I fucking do, bro. I'm not
I think that's what we all
we're not out unless we're out performing. I'm not out at the bar or the clubs anymore.
No.
I'm not fucking, spending my time doing other things. This is my life. It consumes. Yeah, this consumes my entire life. So I do have to make the time where I'm like, babe, we're going to go on a date. Or, hey, babe, we're going to, just watch a show together, because that's a love language for us. But music, if I could do music all fucking day, I would do music all fucking day, bro. Yeah. Like, that would be ideally what my dream job is, right? But the music isn't paying the bills right now, so I gotta have a full-time job.
But see, it's like, I mean, I was lucky enough to know that I wanted to do music at a very early age. I was very young, and so because of that, I earned that experience since I was very young. By the time I was getting out of high school, I was already recording people and figuring things out. And yeah, it's very time consuming, but it
just is what it is.
That's just what it is. I mean, especially with something like music, because it is a very difficult career choice. Very difficult. There's not a lot of money in it, especially for artists.
Eventually, if this becomes like a full, I don't want to say if, I'm going to say when, because I want to manifest.
You have to manifest.
But
yeah, let's do a
manifest.
Okay, continue.
But yeah, it's just doing it full time would be a dream.
Yes.
But it also comes with the complications that nobody, the back end, nobody knows that shit, bro. They don't know you have thousands of fucking dollars of equipment, or they just think, oh, it's just a studio. It's already there. Oh, what if it breaks?
Yeah.
What if, or the AC, the electricity bill, bro, or like just little things like that where it's like, you guys don't know how much time and effort we put into. I have a show. Now I got to practice. Now I have to rent a space to practice, because not everybody has the luxury of having the speakers and the mics and all of that. right? Now you got to spend time and money to rent a space to practice. And then now you show up to a show where you get a fucking haircut, you buy a new fit, you do all these things that people aren't taking into accountability.
Mm-hmm.
To what? To show up for a set for 15 minutes? Do 3 songs maybe? Mm-hmm. That's if you're interacting with the crowd. To not even get paid sometimes. Because promoters are like, it's cool, bro. You'll have exposure. Exposure to exposure to what? 10 fucking people that I already knew?
That I brought?
Yeah.
You know? Like 10 to 15 people that I brought on my own?
Wow.
Bro. Wow. You know? So people don't, you know, they don't take notes or take account of what we're actually doing and how much time we're putting in, and it just is what it is.
Eso fue Pet Peeves.
Thank you for joining us today at the CrxssOver podcast with Luna Caves, Jahida Sky,
and Manny Fresco.
Adios.
Chuck.
Cállese, me sale.
Me cago en la madre.
Dime si no me digas que de otra hora. Casi estoy segura que de otra hora.
Yo creo que sí.
¿Cuánto es?
57 minutes.
Casi. Está bien.